Hello my friends and welcome to today's video. I'm Jeanette with Vivo Vintage Designs. Today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of painting either on the glossy side or the matte side of photo paper. So here I painted this flower and this was on the matte side of the photo paper, and I really didn't get as much detail. I did have to use a micron pen to outline the petals and add the details. And then I tried it on the glossy side of photo paper and I got this really cute flower where I didn't have to outline with the micron pen for the detail because I was able to paint on the glossy side of photo paper almost like watercolor, almost. Now the difference between the matte side and the glossy side of photo paper is that the glossy side is designed to absorb ink when a photograph is printed on it. So the ink doesn't move very much. It stays in place and is absorbed. But when you paint on the matte side of the photo paper, the paint just sits on the surface. You can reactivate it, rather the ink, and you can reactivate it with alcohol and get it to move around. So here I'm going to demonstrate the difference between the two. On the left, I have the glossy side of photo paper, and on the right, I have the matte side. So off camera, I did dry the ink on the glossy side of the paper as I did on the matte side. Usually that's what I do to create my flowers. So now I'm going to attempt to blow a petal on each of these sides to show you the difference. All right, let's start with the matte side. The ink is dry, as I mentioned earlier. I'm going to put some alcohol down on it and I'm going to use my airbrush to blow out this petal. And you can see that again, because the matte side is sealed so that the ink that is printed on the glossy side does not seep through, the ink flows very nicely on the matte side of photo paper. And now I'll show you how easily you can create ripples as well. So I've added some alcohol and now I'm just going back and forth with the dryer and tilting the paper so that puddle constantly flows down towards the air. I didn't finish drying it completely, and I don't know if you can see the ripples very well in that image there, but they are there. Now we're going to try the same thing on the glossy side of photo paper. So I'm going to put down some alcohol. I'm going to let it sit for a while to see if it reactivates the ink, and you can see that it does not move as well because the ink and the alcohol are being absorbed by the paper. Let's try it again. You can get some of it to move, but not the same as you can on the back. So now let's add a good amount of alcohol and see if we can create some ripples. So I'm moving it around a little bit to try and reactivate that ink, and you can see that it's reactivating it a little bit, but not nearly as much as it does on the matte side. So I'm going through the same process, going back and forth with the blow dryer, trying to create some ripples, and it just did not work. The ink did not move very well. So here I'm cutting up another sheet of photo paper to demonstrate using the matte side and the glossy side with a dry palette. So you can see that I've created the petals. I'm constantly dabbing my brush, this is the matte side, so that my petals don't bloom. So it turned out okay. Now let's try it on the glossy side. Again, making sure I don't have too much alcohol on my brush. And I'm going to start painting the petals, and you can see immediately that the ink stays exactly where I put it. It doesn't spread. Even when you're using the glossy side, you can even have a little bit more alcohol than you would if you were using the matte side because it gets absorbed. So your brush strokes stay exactly where you place them. Let's speed this up a little bit. So you can see I'm using the same colors, doing exactly the same thing I did on the matte side. However, the brush strokes look much more defined. You can see that here. On the matte side, they kind of bloom a little bit. They lose the detail, but on the glossy side, they stay exactly where you put them. Now let's paint this daisy and see how it works on either side of the photo paper. So first we're painting on the glossy side, and you can see the colors just stay exactly where I put them. Painting the petals is very easy. I don't have to reload the brush to get the depth of color that I want. And you can create very detailed paintings. Now we're painting on the matte side. And I am constantly reloading the brush to get the depth of color that I wanted, and that ended up being too dark. So now here are the kind of finished paintings. The matte side on the right, you can see that it bloomed out. The petals are not as defined, but the one on the left that's painted on the glossy side, all the details show very clearly, and it makes for a really pretty painting. So I hope that I've answered the question about painting on either the matte side or the glossy side of photo paper. Definitely use the matte side if you want to create a painting like this with plenty of ripples. But if you're looking to create a painting with details where you don't need the ink to flow, use the glossy side. Let me know if you have any questions about anything that I've shown here or discussed. I will always get back to you. Check out the description box for links to the products used. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our Facebook group, Vivo Vintage Design Tutorials, where you can post your versions of the paintings and techniques used, or rather learned, on this channel. I hope that you enjoyed the video and that you give both of these techniques a try. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.